O'clock, so we'll call this meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order. First item of business on the agenda is roll call. So Mark Presley.
Here.
Eric Langford. Let me see, Ron Moreland.
Here.
And Kendra Stafford. And we also have our codes official Rosalie Mahan and Amber Reyes. Hey, I remembered your name this time. I wrote it down last time. I cheated. Remind everybody we are being recorded, so please turn on your mics so that we can hear what you have to say. Next item of business then is the approval of minutes from last month's meeting. Should find those in your packet. I'll give you a minute to review those, although there isn't much on there, and then somebody give me a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Mark, second by Kendra. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you for the minutes. Next item of business then will be approval of the agenda. So I'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by Miss Kendra, second. Second by Mark. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. So the agenda is set. I would remind everybody, well, everybody in the audience that if you intend to speak, you need to be signed up. And we do have Miss Cicely and Miss Freddie have joined us now, so we can add them to the roll. Next item then is public hearing, so I don't know if we get anybody from the public that wants to say anything. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to old business then. Do we have any old business? I don't think we do. Blazing through this agenda. All right, that brings us to new business. Now I think we're gonna slow down. Let me see. First item in the packet would be Wayne Howard. Mr. Wayne, have you got anything you'd like to talk to us about? Please use the mic. Don't forget to turn the mic on.
Yes, sir. I'm here for the property at 250 Breeze Inn Road. I'm trying to get a property variance to put a barn dominium on it.
Miss Rosalie, the corner of that property is in floodplain. Am I looking at that correctly?
Yes, sir, you are. It is in the 500-year floodplain. And based on the training that we had last month, the NFIP and you. So if any part of the structure would be in that flood zone there, that's when they're gonna have to have like a certificate of elevation. So as far as him building right there, if you look on the staffing report that Amanda Harrington had created for us, you'll see that she also included, and it's also in your packet, where Mr. Howard had drawn up what type of setbacks that he's going to need. Now, let me go back just a little bit. Breeze Inn is a section of property that is over by, it's off of 231. It's lower, it's going towards the bridge, going towards Kelly's Berry Farm. All of that property there is zoned A1. Now, we have talked about A1 when we did our training this past summer. The setbacks on an A1 piece of property, the minimum lot size for an A1 piece of property is 3 acres. So the building setbacks for an A1 piece of property is 75 feet from the front of the property, 60 feet from the rear of the property, and 40 feet from either side. Now, looking at this piece of property here, that is not a very big piece of property at all. All of those lots are way less than an acre. There is no way that anyone would be able to build a structure, a living structure on that piece of property. So, and this property that he has here is lot, is it 5 through 7
Yes, ma'am.
that are connected?
Well, all of them are connected,
Mhm.
but it's, I think that's right, 5 through 7 or 8, something like that. Cause I own I'll have 5 through 10, I think it is.
Gotcha. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
you're fine. So what he's looking for in order to get these setbacks is that he'd like to have a 30-foot setback on all sides, 30 feet from the front, 30 feet from the back, and 30 feet on either side in order to locate his barn dominium that he wants to build. Now, this has had a mobile home on it before. It already has a septic system. He's already done his due diligence and contacted TDEC for them to come and verify the septic system. That all has been done. And so what he's looking for now, in order for us to issue him a building permit, he needs to have setback approvals. So that's why he's coming here to talk with you about that. Now, you also have a copy of what Amanda Harrington has stated in her staff report. So you, as the BZA, do have that authority to grant setback variances. You've done this in the past. And they have to show you where they need to have a variance. And given the information about the zoning, the 75 feet from the front, 60 feet from the rear, 40 feet on each side, there isn't any way. That lot is like 89 feet. It's a long skinny lot, so there's no way to do 75 feet from the front and 60 feet from the rear. Now, is it a viable building lot? Yes, it's had a structure on there before, and it has since been removed.
Okay, so this is an A1. The surrounding areas are all A1 as, oh. You said that this area under discussion is an A1 and then all the other surrounding areas is A1 as well? Now, does that mean that the other lots here also have homes, or are they actually used for agricultural purposes?
So if you look at the bottom picture on the staff report, it does show you that there are a few homes on there. Some of those lots are vacant. A gentleman does have his garden on one of the lots there. So, but there are, if you were to look at what happens out there in the TN Property Viewer, that little area used to be a campground back in the day. There are a lot of smaller homes there. people like being by the water because it is right next to the water there. There is a little house right next to this lot, which he also owns as well. So there are definitely houses out there.
And you said the lot is what size? That he's,
So the length of the lot is 250 feet. And then the width of the lot is about 88 feet. So it's not very big at all. And-
so would it be better to rezone it residential? Then the setbacks are different?
So none of those properties out there have been rezoned to R1. And we've allowed others to build on their properties.
To that point, though, I don't see how, if this lot isn't able to maintain the required setbacks, I don't see how any other lots in that area would be able to do that. So to that point, I think for the sake of consistency going forward, it would almost mean if we do it for this one, we should do it for all. Because I don't imagine other houses being able to maintain, or other residentials, if that's what they choose to seek a variance on, to be able to maintain a 75-foot setback on such small lots.
At one time, and what happened was when the state came in and established the zoning for the whole county, that area they left as A1. Now I don't know the reasoning behind that, but there are other places here in the county where there are a lot of lots that are an acre or less that are still an A1 piece of property. That would be classified, and we've talked about this before, it's a non-conforming lot. It doesn't conform to what is in our ordinances. So we have had that discussion in planning before where we can identify these areas that it is not able to meet any of what's happening there. And that's where you're going to be seeing anytime they need some type of variance, it's going to be coming to you.
Just for my own edification, why is it that we wouldn't go ahead and try to rezone this? Is it a cost thing? Is it a tax thing that would make it where these lots are better off as architectural as opposed to residential?
So as far as rezoning is concerned, even the lot width and depth for this lot here is less than an R1 piece of property. So
So you mentioned that there was a structure there before,
it was a mobile home, yes,
a
ma'am.
mobile home. I want to clarify that.
Well, it's the setbacks on residential. I thought that was 30 foot.
So for an R1 piece of property out in the county, it is 35 feet from the front, 15 feet from either side, and 25 or 20 from the rear.
Just one more quick question. You had mentioned earlier that when we went through and zoned everything, that this wasn't changed from architecture, from A1. Is that because it was a campground at the time?
Again, this was done back in, I believe, the 70s when the state came in and established all of this. If you notice, for instance, on the east side of the county, a lot of that is zoned R2. And that was for like multifamily dwellings. That was back when TVA was having the nuclear site. And so they thought that there was going to be a lot of growth there. So, and a lot of that is done for growth plans and what they anticipate. Why they kept it as A1, I don't know. I don't have those minutes to those meetings or the thought process to that.
I have a question. Is this an example of, is this very similar to the ones we've done in the past? I think I heard mentioned earlier that we have approved some in the past that was in the same situation, or is this a different situation?
Excellent question. Thank you for asking that. This is very similar to those ones that we've done in the past. A lot of times too, lots of record where those lots were established before zoning ordinance were adopted. There was not a way for them to meet the setbacks. Just recently, you granted a variance for setbacks on Planter Street. It was a lot of record, and they weren't able to meet those setbacks, and we granted that variance.
That one was already zoned residential. Oh, that was a lot of record zoned residential in town.
It was zoned R1, and it wasn't able to meet those setbacks, but it is a lot of record.
Well, I think what he's asking is logical and it would fit what our ordinances are for a residential lot in the sense of visual appeal and consistency. And I do think we would have to make that, we would have to make this exception moving forward for any other lots that want to move in there because I don't think any of them would be able to hold that. So as far as consistency, I think approving this would put us in a good position. So I make a motion to approve.
I second.
All right, we have a motion to approve the setback variance that's being requested. I have a motion by Cicely, a second by Ms. Freddie. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank y'all.
Would it be would it be worth it to ask the planning and zoning to review some of those lots? Because the setback of 30 foot would make a lot more sense if it was residential. That's an awful small lot to be agricultural.
So
Yeah, good. Thank you.
that's a good point, and we've had that discussion before, looking at going at these areas, and I know that there's a certain process in being able to do that, to go and look at these areas, specifically Breeze Inn, and that has always been at the forefront of my mind, an area that we absolutely need to look at because A1 does not make sense in that area. And how do we, as a jurisdiction, handle something like that? Because it doesn't even meet the definition of an R1 piece of property. They're all too small. So what do we do? And that's going forward. I know we've had the codes and zoning meeting this past Thursday, and we were looking at what are our goals for this next year. You know, we've combined ordinances. Now we're going to be looking at different things. It's like food trucks, stormwater ordinances, which we desperately need for this county, and things of that nature. And that's going to be one of those topics as well.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda then will be a similar request by Mike Dice.
Yes, my name is Michael Dyes. I'm a contractor here in Trevor County. I was hired by the Wright family to build addition onto their house. Their house is in an A1 lot, what do you call it? And I've got a building on the right-hand side of the house, and I've got a pool behind the house, also the river behind the house. And I want a variance on the left-hand side of the house to build addition. It'd be a 3-bedroom addition. We'll convert the house back into a 4-bedroom 4-bath house. And I need a variance, to build this addition, for this family.
He doesn't have any choice. You're stuck, aren't you? It's the only place it can go.
Yes, sir, that's the only place they can go.
So if you will look on. Now, I know we do have the plat that Carmen Surveying has done for us where the proposed structure is going to be, and it should be in the back of your packet there. It does show that this is in the zone AE, which means that they have to have a certificate of elevation and it has to be 1 foot above the base flood elevation. So this is what Carmen Surveying has done for us, and I've already been in discussion with them. They can provide us a certificate of elevation. That happens after the structure is completed. Okay, the certificate of elevation, because you need to verify that the bottom floor is exactly, and if it's not constructed yet, well, there's no way you can do that. In looking at this property, you look at what Mr. Dyes has done for us, and it should be in your packet as well. So the front of the house, that's where the septic field is. And any good contractor knows you don't build on a septic field. It's not beneficial to the dwelling. The back of the house, it has an in-ground swimming pool. So the only place to put any type of addition to this house is on that side. Now, they are 15 feet away from the property line on the side. There's not another structure there on the other side of the property line. The neighboring house, you can look and see on the TN property viewer that the neighboring house on the subdivision here is closer up to the road. Now, fire code states that you have to have at least 10 feet away from any other structure. So 15 feet setback from the side, that'll help, that'll meet that. And in discussion with Mr. Dyes, I asked, so how do you plan on heating and cooling this house? Are you going to be using gas-fueled appliances or will you be using electric? And the answer was electric. Is that right, Mr. Dyes? So that's going to help as well. So they're not going to have to worry about any type of venting of gas-fired appliances to the neighboring property. It's all going to be electric.
I assume the signage has been up and so the neighbor is well aware of the request and he's not here, so it's not bothering the neighbor.
I haven't had any calls about this request at all. So, and the sign has been out and the public hearing posting was posted in the newspaper per our ordinances and state law. That's the river. And the land that you see there between the orange lines and the water, that is Corps property, Corps of Engineer property.
I make a motion to approve his request.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mark to approve variance request as presented. I'm sorry, I missed who seconded. Did you, Eric, second by Eric. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, so that wraps up new business. Any discussion topics? Anything anybody wants to talk about? Okay, Rosalie, you wanna fill us in on how the codes office is doing?
Well, as you know, we have really been struggling to try to find something to do in our office. Lots of permits. So we have had a lot of different people coming in, people were still asking, well, has it slowed down any? Not really. It's just kind of changed. There's not as many like single family dwellings request. It's more accessory structures. Business licenses are coming through our office. They come to our office first. And we look at, okay, is it a minor home occupation or major? Because those majors need to come and see you for approval. We also have a lot of discussion. People are calling and looking at land here in Trousdale County. They want to know about the property that they're anticipating in buying. What can they do? As you know, the gas pipeline was approved to do their compressor station and their solar array. And if you drive down Puryear's Bend and Boat Dock Road, you will see that they've already started grading their all type of stormwater paraphernalia out there. They have the silt socks out there to really capture all the runoff from that property. TCAT is moving very quickly. You can actually see where the roof is going to be. They are working on the in the building mechanical and the plumbing as well. The sewer system and the manholes have all been tested, so they anticipate their goal is to finish this and open by September. So it is moving right along. And trying to think what else have we been talking about? The combined ordinances. Codes and zoning has been working diligently on combining those so that we don't have to go, okay, now wait a minute. Is this Hartsville or is this the county? And those are going before it has gone through the planning commission and now going to the county commission, and they're having work sessions with Rick Gregory, who is the planning consultant that helped kind of correlate this and combine this together. So, and the county commission will be looking at adopting this at the end of January. So it's a very good thing that they've done. It's been an arduous task. It really has. I will let Amber speak to all the work that she's done in compiling all the different training hours. Amber, would you care to speak to that, please?
Yes, so I have went through and added up everyone's hours that are already sorry. I had went through all the sign-in sheets, everyone that I could find that had signed into anything, and then I went and sent out one by one individual emails as well, asking if anyone had anything on that I did not see, just to make sure that I was getting those hours corrected. I've had a couple reach back out and say no. I've had a couple reach back out and say yes, that they did have time to go on and do some training. If there is anyone that would like to do training, and your hours are all in the very back of the packets. If you guys just want to let me know, I can make up packets for you guys to pick up at your earliest convenience. I'd be happy to do that to help out if you guys need more hours or anything. So if you guys just let me know, I can get it taken care of for you. Thank you.
So with this type of format, I'd like to ask you guys, did you find that this was beneficial? Did you get good information? Is there something that you would like to continue next year doing the same type of format? Because every year you need to have 4 hours worth of training.
I found it beneficial, not only so that we were all learning the same stuff, but also we had the opportunity to ask questions.
I
Also,
found it very beneficial for me because of my schedule.
I like the format in which you can go back and review past classes you may have missed. And I really enjoyed that. So thank you.
Great job.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll pass that along. So please be thinking about different topics that you would also like to have some training on that we can maybe address next year. I know that there are some things that I would like to explore more as far as vesting rights. When someone brings something forward, what does that look like? How long is that good for? And things of that nature, because I'm hearing that maybe the state has kind of changed that a little bit. So we could look at, okay, what does that look like for our jurisdiction? What do we need to do? So that's one of the things I'd like to look at. So anything that you guys can think of, please don't hesitate to kind of send topics to the office, and I'll get with Amanda Harrington and see what we can do about getting some trainings on those.
Yeah, and maybe you've done this, but I think it'd be good to get her input too and what she thinks we need. She probably knows more about what we need than we do, frankly. All right, closing remarks. The chair has none. Anybody in the commission has something they want to say in closing? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Miss Freddie, second by Mark Presley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.